Hey guys, we're live, December 21st. Does the Western marriage trap apply to Ukrainian women? That is the topic of today, December 21st. 4 days to Christmas. Can you guys believe it? Hello. Four
Hi.
calling birds, three French hens. Okay, I won't quit my day job. So, guys, our goal today is to have an open venting session for us dudes, really. It's like to release our fears and self-limiting beliefs if you want, to share your divorce experiences as we will share ours with you and be very, uh, just very open and personable with you guys about our divorce stories as well. And we'll see what takeaways we can get, we can walk away with from this live stream, how maybe it can make a difference for you, for your future, right? Because, hey, babe,
Mhm.
I love the analogy of, we're like in the car driving, right? We're moving ahead in life, but it's like we're looking in the rearview mirror all the time. We're driving, but instead we're looking in the rearview mirror. So this analogy is akin to like our past is controlling our future, right? Which we don't want, right? So the question is, are you done with marriage completely, or maybe you're only done with Western women for marriage? Maybe there is another option for you out there, which leads me to our live poll right now. So if you could please vote in the live poll right now. The polling question is, I think marriage is a trap with Western women, and 50% of you have already voted Western women. 2, Ukrainian women, 0% have said Ukrainian women. So it looks like so far you're saying Ukrainian women is a bit of a safe haven, which is good. It's interesting. Third option is all women. I think, marriage is a trap with all women. That's 36% of you have voted that way so far. And I don't know. That's our control is 14%. I don't know. So please vote now. And then we get more votes. It might change because there's only like 14 or so votes right now. So it might change. And yeah, our dog's barking, protecting us. We're out here in the Alberta wilderness on the lake.
Probably from squirrel.
Yeah, protecting us from a squirrel. True. What's men's main beef about marriage anyways? Guys, please write in comments, in chat, in comments after we're not live anymore. What's your main beef of marriage? Please tell us. We want to share here, right? So I've heard it referred to a lot this way. Marriage is a contract, right? It's a legal and binding contract. And so what do men bring to the table? What do women bring to the table? Well, men, what we bring to the table is mostly financial provisioning and support, right? We're the breadwinner, and that's our main role. But there's also protection, financial and physical, and that's our main role, which under the institution of marriage, we're contractually obligated to fill that role. So if divorce happens, guess what? That contractual obligation, the courts in the West have deemed that we're still responsible even after divorce. Now let's take a look at the ladies' role, the women's role. What do they bring to the table?
Oh, pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, maybe you're new to Slavic culture. It's very different works in the West. There is no after divorce. There is no such a what do you call alimony to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
There is maybe such a thing if she has less than 1 years old child or something like this, but it's very very small, and maybe it's like until her child will be 1 years old, so she can possibly work. I don't know, from with 1 years old, not much you can do, but yeah, this kind of what exists for a woman. So
yeah, it's reverse divorce rape in Ukraine. Reverse. The woman gets raped instead of the man in the West, essentially.
yeah. We have
We
that.
have invited you guys. We've sent an email inviting you guys into the studio because we really want, hey, Paul, welcome to the studio. We really want you guys to get involved as much as possible, have it a real social interaction because we know there's a lot of divorce pain out there. And I've been there, done that myself, right? So I'm going to share a little bit of my story today. So Paul just entered the studio. If you want to come into the studio, you're welcome to click on the link that we emailed you. Maybe Anna can put it in chat now. Maybe not.
Which link? I just add Paul.
StreamYard link. It's okay. So just continuing. What's the woman bring to the table? She brings love, affection, hopefully sex, right? Hopefully great sex. And hey, it's what us guys want, right? Let's call a spade a spade. I mean, two. She provides a warm, caring, nurturing home for you and the family, right? For you to come home to and de-stress, right? Not add to it, right? Not come home and you get slammed with nagging and complaining, right? And then third, what she provides is children, right? That's a material part of the deal. Us guys want a family.
I feel like I come like to wrong door, it's like men's party here, and I'm learning something new for myself, But
Yes.
okay, it's interesting.
Pay close attention, babe.
Yeah.
Pay close attention. Right. So that's and the thing is, my point here, like this is the point that I've seen made a lot by, embittered men, is that we're legally contractually obligated to provide our end of, of the deal. They are not upon divorce, or if they don't provide sex, warmth, nurturing, children, no biggie, right? They're not contractually obligated to do so, whereas yet we are. So, of course, our experiences as Western men come from heavily divorce rape in the Western courts, right? So, guys, again, we're going to dive deep into the topic of divorce, right? Marriage, is it a trap? What mistakes have I made? I'll share with you. What mistakes have you made? What have we learned from it? What can we do differently? And this is the big takeaway that I'm hoping for, right? I'm hoping for, and we see in the poll already, you guys are warm to marrying Ukrainian. It looks like from the poll results so far, you don't find marrying Ukrainian as dangerous as marrying Western. And that's certainly my fervent belief, right? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about prenumps and how to pitch a Ukrainian wife a prenup so that it's a plus for her instead of, a minus, instead of her beating you over the head or throwing a plate at you or something like that, right?
Can I just say something?
Sorry, I'm stealing the show.
I feel like, no, it's okay. You're leading. That's what it calls. I feel like in the West was the way, law sat and generally, feministic movement and all of that is just very, very good for government, to have 2 times more employees and make everything that, men would, kill desire to get married. So, economy win, but like as society, everybody become very weak. Because when we together, as a couple, we much more stronger and less manipulative and happier, healthier, men live longer. It's statistically proven by a lot of research when he get married, because he eat more healthier. He's, being taken care of. He have way to relax being with his loved one. So actually, I saw another statistic that woman lives a shorter life when she getting married. But I don't know. Yeah,
you saw some research that
that shows this. And
she's getting older if she marries an older guy.
Not necessarily, just in marriage generally, because women just very emotional, and if they a lot of it's with relationship, there's a lot of stress going on. Sometimes it's not always sunny days, right? So, and women sometimes take it too much, to themselves, and
Mhm.
that's what make their life shorter. But despite
Mhm.
on that, all Ukrainian women, live with this thought. Like, look at our 7 years old daughter. She's like, I will have husband like that. He will be very handsome. And like, she's talking about husband at 7 years old. Like, they all dream from early ages, to be married, because that's they
Yeah, have you
feel.
guys had girls before? Do Western girls talk about marriage at age 7 and marrying their dad? I don't know. I don't know. I've never been a dad to a Canadian, Western child, but anyway, yeah, Slavs are definitely different, and it's inherently bred in them. So I'm just putting up you guys' comment. We're going to pull Paul into the studio in a moment, and maybe he can share his story. Before we do, or let's pull Paul in first, and then I'll tell my story later, okay? And Anna and I are gonna share our divorce stories and what we learned from them. But meanwhile, welcome, Paul.
Hey, hi.
Hi, welcome.
How you doing?
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too. So, what's your take on divorce and marriage? How did you vote, Paul?
Well, yeah, definitely not a Western woman. Yeah, my experience has been shocking. I saw it happen to my friends, never thought it could happen to me. After 30 years and 8 kids. And yeah, it happened. It was just stunning. So, yeah, and yeah, like Anna was saying, the government, it works better for the government. The government incentivizes divorce, the way the court system is set up. And there's also something called Title 4D, which also encourages the child support or alimony. I think it's well, or it could be both, but something sponsored by the federal government, which also encourages divorce. So it's unfortunate, really unfortunate.
And so, each state is different, but there's, I believe, only seven states that prenups cannot be overturned. I mean, it's very, very difficult but the rest of the states, there's legal precedences of them being overturned in court by a judge. So that's the thing. You're not even really safe with a prenup. That's
when
scary.
I saw that, sorry. When I saw things going sideways, I asked for a postnup, which she signed.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then it was pushed back on later heavily, even though she signed it, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have friends. I mean, we can get into the stories, but just to share, like, I have a friend, and we were hanging out one time as families, and he shared with me that he's a good guy, carpenter, works finishing luxury homes, and he shares with me he hadn't had sex with his wife in 5 years, and I just my jaw hit the floor, right? I was like, are you serious? And they have 2 kids, and they look happy, right? And listen, guys, no guy's happy if he hasn't had sex in 5 years. And he was faithful.
I've got, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I can top that, unfortunately. I'm stunned. Yeah. So when the wheels started to fall off the marriage, I could see it coming, and trading notes with other guys and how they dealt with the situation. 3 of my friends, over 11 years, no sex, and they're bankrolling everything. She's living in the house, and they have accepted that. And I think maybe part of it has to do with the diet and low testosterone. Maybe that's why they're okay. Also, part of it has to do with a lot of the feminism that it's now in the church. So the church accommodates these ideas and the feminist perspective towards sex. And yeah, I don't know how these guys endure it, but yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
Brutal.
another friend of mine um, his friend, he was a very successful lawyer, pulling in like around $1 million a year. And she just started really nagging on him, and the marriage just went, downhill, just crashing, no sex. And she's just nagging on him all the time. Anyway, he ended up offing himself.
Oh,
He ended up offing himself.
yeah.
And, amongst my I don't want to get too specific, but amongst my close circle, I'll just leave it there. Amongst my close circle, I have, married 26 years, not happy at all, contemplating divorce, and I'm like, I end up counseling them, and I walk a fine line as a Christian man. I'll just throw this in here because, it's just tough. It's a tough decision, I think, for anyone, and certainly if you're a God-fearing person, so I'm always very careful counseling men. But boy, oh boy, what do you do? 26 years of marriage, and there's just, the respect is out the window. The sex is out the window. You're not even friends anymore. And here's the thing. This one particular man is sticking with it because there's children involved, small children and teenage children. And what's your take on that, babe, when there's children involved? Since I'll give you the floor for
Yeah, I mean, that's very, I think, wrong illusion that, sometimes parents have, that, we have children, so I have to be. But actually, you're passing by this role model of relationship with no respect, no love to your children. And that's what, they see as a normal family, and most likely what will be creating on his own. So it's a very, it's not easy decision, but at the end of the day, I believe that seeing healthy, happy, couple, seeing loving mother, loving father, I saw very cool short video from psychologists, like the way how we impact children, like one personality, father a little bit impact, mother like more, but then relationship between father and mother, this is what, a lot impact them, impact how they will be in future choosing their partner, because a lot of them go, just in repeat model of what they saw, because they perceive this as a love, because, everything they know it's love. So
yeah, and in this
Traumatized love.
case of the inner circle man I'm talking about, you can see his children. I can, when I go over, I can see his children totally disrespect him. Like they model their mom who disrespects them, right? And painful to see. And anyway, it's just so prevalent out there. And at the end of the day, I'm successfully divorced twice, and so I've learned my lessons, right? Anna's divorced; she's learned her lessons, and I think, like Ann just said, we got to learn, we got to self-reflect, like what was my part in this failed marriage? Because there's always two at the table of failure, right? In a marriage, I mean, it's never 100%. And speaking of which, the wife in this particular case, she says the husband should go to counseling. She doesn't need to come. Well, that's a problem, right? When your partner thinks you're completely to blame.
And I think actually this is a very prevalent position among Western women, because I've been to like Canadian club of the women just to see the way they speak. I wanted to understand for myself better culture. And this is women who, involved in the personal development. So this is the best of the best, who wants to actually, to be better version of themselves, and there was 50-50, some of them was behaving more in like Ukrainian women, understanding it's not like I'm coming in relationship with the princess and, he has to satisfy me. If he's not, like, next, and like this attitude, when I'm not happy about something, just goodbye, and there's many other men, and, what's interesting for me, guys, Western guys, seeing statistics of divorce in Ukraine, knowing what's going on in the West, they assuming we have the same problem, with our marriages. and they're assuming stuff because they don't know what's going on in our culture, and they write like they know difference, Ukrainian women know difference from Western women, but in actuality we're facing totally different, issues in the marriages. And
bingo, if I can just chime in, this is the heart of this live stream, is what are the differences between Western marriages and divorces that you've experienced and Slavic? Because that's the goal here, right? You guys are here following us to understand if you want to roll the dice again and take a chance on a Slavic woman or Ukrainian woman this time, right? So that's what we want to really go deep on today. So we really appreciate your questions and comments as they come up. What do you guys, maybe you could start, Paul. Maybe do you have a deep concern or fear? I assume you're considering finding a Ukrainian wife or Slavic wife?
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, I'm learning now that there is a difference. Well, I mean, I haven't met or dated one yet, but yeah, you go from what you know to what you don't know, and yeah, the experience here is horrific. So yeah, and I've learned that okay, I need to adjust my perception and be open to learning, and yeah, I've been reading, I've been listening to some podcasts. So I'm encouraged.
So if we could ask you, what would be your biggest concern or fear about marrying again and marrying Slavic Ukrainian?
Well, the prenup part, acceptance of that, but I did look at your video, so I understand more about that. So that's not as much of a concern. Other than that, I see a lot of pluses based on what I've learned. The language barrier, if there's no English and there's my Ukrainian isn't very good. I don't have Ukrainian. They've got some, I can speak Spanish. But that, I mean, that's the only concern. Other than that, I'm actually really encouraged.
Well, that's great to hear. Let's take a look at the poll stats. Now we got 29 votes in, and 53% of you guys are saying, yeah, I think marriage is a trap with Western women. Okay. 53% Western women. Ukrainian women still 0. All women 23%. So less than half of Western. So that's good. And I don't know, which is our calibration, really. I don't know, 23%. So it's encouraging that you guys have, voting. You've already decided, it looks like, that Ukrainian women are a safer bet. And I would completely agree with that. And we'll talk about prenups. I guess we could talk about it now. Yeah. Do you remember when we did on the street asking the ladies prenups in Kyiv? Anna and I went around asking ladies, just coming up to them with a microphone, which is brutal to try to do to Slavs. They don't like to be in the spotlight. They're not like Western, right? So we got a lot of no's. We got probably 9 no's to every one yes. But we did get quite a few ladies that would engage with us. And the takeaway from that 2-part, which is on the channel, I'll try to put it in the description below this video on prenups, is that the takeaway is that because you got to think, we only know what we've experienced, right? Like we all are looking through the world with our own shade on our glasses, right? Tint on our glasses. Mine is tinted a little bit, oops, sorry, babe. A little bit gray. Anna's is tinted a little bit beige. Yeah. So, and that tint is based on our past experiences, right? So Ukrainian women's past experiences is that they get shafted in the divorce, right? Reverse divorce rape instead of you getting shafted. So they want some they would like some security that, hey, if shit does happen, I get something, that would be nice, right? And I know what I get. So basically, bottom line is if you're fair in the prenup, right, which you have to be anyway, right, for it to be. I mean, that's one thing about a prenup. If it's really biased, right? If you're taking everything pretty much, and she gets the car or something, that's not going to hold water in court in most jurisdictions. So anyway, if you're reasonable with her and you give her a safety net, like something, um,
Um,
upon divorce, she looks at as if some security,
Wait a
right?
second. First of all, most of people they was confused. Like, what do you mean? They don't know what is this. We don't practice it because
Yeah,
in
my
Ukraine the
bad.
only one reason why they get married because they
Yeah.
they uh, fall in love. And so when you approach her with signing prenup, she's asking, "Do you love me at all? Like, do you have feelings for me, or you like care only about your money?" You know, she like you come from your curiosity. She come with maybe you don't have feelings to her, like So when we was explaining, talking to them what this prenup and like no, like let's imagine you have serious relationship. He loves you. You feel this, but like he has some his story that driven him to desire to protect him. So she said, okay, if it's strong feeling, I feel it there, I'm open to discuss. And that's when what Joe said, if this is will be some way of protection me, maybe it's not bad idea, because I come also to a known country and I give him up all my life, so I'm open to discuss. But first it was confusion. And if you will try to tell her, listen, I'm not going to date you, and listen, you don't open to signing prenup, she will be like, just go away, I don't know what you're doing. Because the only one motivation, again, for them to get married in our country, it's because she fall in love with man and she wants to be with him. This is the only reason why she's getting married.
Thank you for that. You
Mhm.
saved the message on that one, hon. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Women were completely taken back when we asked them, "What do you mean?" Oh, marriage. They call it a marriage contract in
Mhm.
Ukraine. Oh, yeah. So it's not like it's a slam dunk, right? Because Ukrainian people
Yeah.
don't get prenups. It's a very uncommon thing. Maybe the ultra wealthy in
Yeah,
Ukraine,
they say we heard some rich people signed this.
Yeah,
They heard, but they never like experienced themselves or like friends, because
yeah.
there's nothing to share, and like people sincerely want to be together. So what's a problem? And women, yeah, those who stay not protected, they taking risk of basically being, if divorce happen, being a father and mother to children because they don't have any support from government. They like kamikaze, going into marriage with like taking the risk. They're just like you in the West, guys. This is the same story, they go in because they want to be mothers, they want to be, but they know this is very risky because if men leave you, you're on your own with your children now.
But you're ahead though already because, well, both people are ahead because she understands that she's a woman, that she wants to be a woman. She understands the roles. So yeah, that piece in itself is really encouraging. It's really interesting when you talk to Western women and this perception that we're exactly the same, but physiologically you can see that we're different. So if there are
Thank
differences
God.
physiologically, yeah, there are differences. Yeah, if there are differences physiologically, there are differences in the way we think and what we're good at, what we're not good at. So I mean, yeah, the prenup would be nice, but coming into it with that understanding already, I think we're already far ahead compared to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's truly amazing to hear a woman have no to have lost her understanding of the roles of men and women and her roles. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with managing the house. There's nothing wrong with raising their kids. There's nothing wrong with supporting the husband so that he can go out and generate income, and mentally be unmolested with stuff going on at home and bring that income home for her to enjoy it. But for some reason, they've lost that understanding.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I think an important point here is that you don't want to shock this upon the lady too early in the dating process. You want to wait until you love each other. She loves you, right? Because this is a sensitive topic. If you go in premature with this, you're gonna blow up the blow up the ship, sink the ship. Yeah, that's an important distinguishing point there. Um, let's put up Matt's comment because if you don't trust someone well enough and feel a prenup is necessary, you probably don't need to get married to them. What's your take on that, Paul?
I totally agree.
Oh yeah, I was. The marriage was great. I I thought that I never thought this would happen to me. I it was an awesome marriage. I mean, I don't have complaints for when it was good. It's just amazing how things can change completely upside down. So yeah, that's one thing I've learned. You think you know somebody and you are convinced, and it's just been that's been one of the most stunning things to me.
Hmm.
Things completely upside down, and then realizing, wow, this is not. It's really confusing. You know, you mentioned people offing themselves, which is a real thing. And by the way, if there are any guys out there thinking about that, don't do it. Obviously, you want to drop, you want to die. Yeah, it's horrible, but there's another side to this. You just got to make it through to the other side. Things will get better eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can relate to your story. You thought you knew the person. My second marriage was a great marriage, so I thought we were great friends, helped her build her passion and bring that, into fruition. And then found out quickly that no money, no honey. Like when I lost it all and I went bankrupt and they took away the matrimonial home along with everything else, then I got the bomb. I don't love you, honey, anymore. I want a divorce. And that was the point that yeah, because I never saw that coming. I thought it was till death do us part. And
Yeah.
so I can relate to you, Paul. I can relate to you.
Yeah, yeah, especially with kids, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's like the kids are. There's no consideration for the kids, which just blew me away.
yeah. Oh, the kids are the biggest losers in divorce. Absolutely, they pay the steepest price. No question. No question. Yeah. So let's just comment on this. So Anna, you said under your breath, I totally agree, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And I actually totally agree. Matt Williams is a client of ours, and Paul, you're a client, right?
yeah. Just you.
New
New.
client.
Yeah.
Yeah, new client.
Hmm.
So I totally agree, but I understand it's a very personal thing. And of course, it's based on your experience.
Yeah.
Um, I, knock on wood, never in my two divorces got, divorce raped. It was very equitable, and it was a divorce just $250, both of them divorces, submitted to court yourself, $250 total cost all in. So I got away with it easy. But I appreciate all of the stories out there and what you guys are going through. And I realize if my story was different, I might feel differently because, our position is based on our past experiences. But I do believe that, like, if I can say it this way, I dated a lot before I met my unicorn. Uh, and there was some ladies I dated that if I had to ask the question, do I trust her financially? Would I need a prenup? Of course, I didn't have a lot of gold to hide back then, remember, but still, uh, would I trust them? And the answer would be no. So if you, my advice would be, if you have this doubt that you require a prenup to satisfy yourself, I personally think it's just not your woman. It's not the right person, right? Um, it's my personal belief that you're walking into a marriage with leading with the distrust foot, right? You're leading with that. So I think That's a tough one, but I don't, I don't blame guys that have the position, I would never get married again without a prenup. And on that point, it's worthy to say that, if you're marrying in Eastern Europe, it's probably better to marry there, right? And be under those laws and live outside of America if possible, right? If you're worried about that, that's the safest bet by far. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah. And Craig, hey, we haven't seen Craig in a while. I think divorce a Western man. Yeah. So what about this? Are you saying it would be an extreme case if a Ukrainian woman divorces a Western man and tries to take the majority of his assets? So therefore, a prenup is not needed in most cases. Well, I'm not saying it's an extreme case at all. Actually, I'm saying this is a very slippery slope here, because, for example, if you go to our other channel, Mail Order Bride Scams, you'll see an interview with a gentleman named Tim. He used to be a pastor. He lives in Arizona, and you can hear his whole story about he dated a lady, met her at a social in Ukraine, and fast forward, he was married to her for a year. When she was leaving out the door after the divorce with her 3 children, she confessed that it was a marriage and scam by design. So she met on a PPL site that does socials. You could probably figure out who I'm talking about. But anyway, it's on the Mail Order Bride Scams YouTube channel. It's an ugly story. He tells like an hour and 20 minutes, the whole story. So in this case, yeah, it should have been, would have been good that he had a prenup. So if you're marrying low quality women, right?
It doesn't matter from what country.
Yeah, it doesn't matter from
and
what
you
country.
For her, what Mexican call gringo, you for her piece of ATM, ATM, walking ATM, so she will take advantage of you. I think personally, those women, Slavic women that live in the West, the more, I think, able, especially those who live long life, there, they kind of more westernized, and they more, I think, possibly, up to these things. But those who live in Ukraine, in Europe, they just don't know this thing exists. They still, like, the big question: why men come to Ukraine to find wife? They don't know much of feminism, how it affects men. They kind of like very not aware of what's going on in the world. They're very close-minded people. We know what we know. So the main thing, just to choose smartly, high-value woman who raised with with strong values, and and this is, I think, this is the main thing,
And this is a good, I'll just chime in, honey.
Mhm.
Our last video, I think, that went live, or 2 videos ago, was called, what's the definition of sex tourist to Ukrainian woman? And the answer is foreigner. So there's such a bad rap that foreigners have in Ukraine as coming for sex, probably led by the country of Turkey, unfortunately. But they just assume by default that you're either a sex tourist or there's a strong chance of that. So you have to be just aware of that, that's the bias that they have about foreigners, right? That you're there for sex, you're not there for anything serious and long term. And that's an important.
That actually speaks to their sense of self-worth, their values and morals, which is good. I mean, that's a concern.
Yeah. This is a lady. This is cute. Hello, Anna. You are looking great. Joe, you are looking. This is a lady that follows us.
No, I don't think it's a lady.
Isn't it? I thought it was a lady. Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. No matter. So what should we talk about? I guess I'm gonna come clean and talk about my first failed marriage.
Okay, talk for me and for you.
No, your turn is coming up, love. Your turn is coming up.
I'm going under the table.
Hey, that's
No,
what you felt like
this is
doing when we
very
met.
this is a very
Because of
difficult
my,
conversation for Slavic women, definitely.
but you're lucky because I'm going now.
Okay,
So
no mind.
no worries, no worries. Relax, relax. So yeah, I was coming from just being dumped by a really deep love, and she had cheated, so cheated on me, and then basically dumped me, and so I came from that, and I was 32. I really wanted a family. I wanted to have kids. And so I picked the safe route, and I picked a Bible school grad, because I was a really fervent Christian at the time, a little bit legalistic. And I just thought, she'll never cheat on me. I should be a perfect mom. Everybody loves her, right? She was a nurse at the hospital, just salt of the earth. You could trust her with $1 million cash, and she would give it back to you, like 100%, 100%. Just a real true north compass, and I forgot. I brainwashed myself. How do I say this? To think that there was chemistry when indeed it was farthest from the truth. And here I am, we get married, and then I realized very quickly that I always say I married my sister. It was like I married my sister, so I felt like the title of this video is, does Western marriage trap apply to Ukrainian women? I felt trapped, totally trapped. You look at the wolves in captivity, right? They just pace back and forth on the same spot on the fence line, and they wear the grass bald there, right? That's what I felt like, a wolf just trapped. And my Christian values also didn't allow me to get divorced, so really trapped. And it took me a long time to get rid of the guilt of the divorce, because I didn't believe in divorce. I hurt her a lot from the divorce, and actually, that was her second marriage. Her first husband had cheated on her, and we couldn't have kids. That was another hard part. Couldn't have kids with the first wife, and I couldn't have kids with the second wife. So I learned the hard way that chemistry is absolutely, like, it's there or it's not, and don't ignore it, right? Like, I know most of you guys out there going, duh, Joe. But it is my experience and my lesson from it.
Yeah, and you can't assume church is a safe bet either, because the statistics for behaviors and divorce
Yeah.
in the church are very similar to outside the church.
Mhm.
And that would be a report card on the performance of the church. They've absolutely done a horrible job imparting values and reminding the congregants. So yeah, can't assume just because they're Christian it's okay. It's going to
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, you can't. One of my closest friends now, I guess he's getting up there. He's probably close to 75 now, but he's still grizzly hunts, and he hunts pretty much every month. He's retired, but anyway, he was happily married for, I think it was like 35 years. I think they have 3 girls, and she cheated on him with an elder in the church, and he was a pastor. I missed that part, right? He was a
That's
pastor in
amazing.
the church. Yeah, and anyway, I won't tell any more of that story. But yeah, it's here's a question that Craig, I think it'll be interesting, Joe. The more you got to know Anna, because it's important, did you realize that she was the real deal and would stick with you for all time, unlike the others? Obviously, you vetted her. It's a really good and brave question. I compliment you, Craig. I always say no taboo. And yeah, when you come from betrayal, like I was talking to a client prospect this week. Our main coach is on Christmas holidays, so Ann and I are back in the coaching seats now, doing the consultations. And he also was in a 30-year marriage, and then she just came. Amazing marriage, amazing sex. He said like everything was great, and then out of nowhere, I want a divorce. And it's not that long ago, and so he's really crushed to the point where he says, "Joe, can I want to meet this girl on our site, right? Can I ask her why she got divorced? Because I really,
No, it's
he,
Paul.
he
No, I mean
Oh yeah, I guess that was me. Yeah.
it's
oh,
Paul. It was
oh,
Paul.
shit.
But anyway, yeah, yeah,
Oops.
we didn't advise
That's all
to
right.
that, but yeah,
I forgot.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, we was advising not to, but it's up to guys every time, to do, to not to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you see me now. I will be going red and blue and don't know what color talking publicly about my story, which is like. But I just wanted to help. Like
But just for me to
yeah.
just finish off first
Okay.
before you,
Yeah.
so I give you a few more minutes. But just bringing it back to me, that it's
you was answering question. How you vet me? How you vet
yeah,
me?
yeah. That's where I was. That totally
You was
took me over.
asking me too, yeah.
Yeah. So I was making a point. I try to tell stories, right? Stories are powerful. They're true, and I think we learn from people's stories, and best. So about me, I felt very betrayed, right? Like you have no idea. I was a multimillionaire when I met my ex, right? And I give her the life of Riley, right? Like, I mean, I gave her everything, right? And then I have a turn of financial events, and that's it. You're gone. Like that's the end of your commitment. So it made me super hyper sensitive to that financial question of women. So that is probably the number one reason that I dated so much in Ukraine. Very thankful I did. But I was very sensitive. So I looked for fun. I had a lot of financial triggers. I'd look if she wanted, I'd look at her financial, like how expensive is her lifestyle. That was very important. How does she behave about going to restaurants? Does it always have to be a really fancy restaurant, or is she okay? And I really read into it. I was trying to dig. And in terms of Anna, yeah, she was just very materialistic, non-materialistic to an extreme.
But I saw your concerns. I remember you even told me. I saw your Instagram. You've been to Thailand, to Sri Lanka, to Egypt. You like your lifestyle. To high end. Travel. You don't know one thing about Ukrainian people. They're so frugal. I was traveling to Egypt for like all inclusive for 7 days for $250. That's what it costs. It's like it's everybody can afford in Ukraine, especially if you buy like hot tour. It's like you fly within 72 hours. It's like very fast, but like there is options to travel very very cheap. It's available, so it's not always luxury. Like vacations. Ukrainian people would, if they have to, those who wants to travel to see the world, they would go for a very how to say, not high-end hotel, maybe 3-4 stars, but they will take advantage of like traveling around and seeing things. They don't care about staying in a very luxury place. It means it's my story. I don't know, maybe other girls, like everybody different. For me it was not the point. For me it was very interesting to see other culture, to engage with other people. Was my main desire. But of course I think lifestyle and the way people live, it should match in. And of course men shouldn't be feeling like she has such a high expectations financial and I don't know how to satisfy it. I was just like man wants to feel appreciative, like whatever he brings to the table, right? And if it's not there, if like I can make more, and I know couples where a woman Ukrainian makes more money than man. But as long as she don't put him down for this, she's appreciative because he's more, like she's learning from him. He says he's such a nice father. I would never, like, I'm learning from him. She put him on a pedestal for other things that he's bringing in the family. It can be, but like as long as men feel loved and respected, and but I would say it's very rarely when women makes more than men in Ukraine. Yeah, normally it's just a little bit land. I mean, it's very rarely that couple can be happy with this.
Let
They
me.
expect men to be breadwinner because then she can be, she can be in her role of caregiver.
You want to say something,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, completely agree with that. That feeling of being supported and respect. It's not hard to do. But one thing I want to correct. So in my situation, I don't have proof of adultery. So I just wanted to point that out. I know that we're past that discussion, just for the record.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
I don't know what this means even.
Okay.
But okay.
Yeah. Thanks for. So just to continue on this, because it's a really great question. I always like pointing out my fuck ups, because I think we learn more from failures than from successes. Happily ever after is not really much of a lesson. But I almost lost this amazing human being here, my soulmate. I was at risk of losing her, put it that way, because I went extreme, being a matchmaker, seeing all the scams, doing mail order bride scams YouTube channel, and spying on scammers and catching them on video in Ukraine and all of that. It did make me paranoid, to not extremely, but you get hypersensitive. And that's why any guys that have been caught on PPL site, paper letter sites, to the tune of, they had the heart broken, or they spent 5, 10, 20, 30. I mean, the last guy I interviewed over there, he spent $300,000 in Regina, Saskatchewan, a guy, $300,000, and he's on food stamps now. And he did his interview over there talking about, so he will be extremely sensitive, all right, rightfully so on this point. But what it does is it hurts your chances. The more you've been scammed, you're a prospect client watching now, right? You're thinking of going on this journey. The fact that you've been scammed, it makes your journey harder, because just like me, I got hypersensitive about the money issue and just looking. And when you look really hard for something that's not there, sometimes you can see it. It's not there, but you can see it because you're super paranoid about it. And so I needed to step up as the man figure. Once Anna and I were in a committed relationship, monogamous, committed, talking about future.
We was not talking. We already was living together.
Yeah, we were living together. Yeah, okay.
More than talking.
Okay, but no, I mean marriage love.
I mean
marriage
I was
love.
here, there, but like I almost moved to you, like
so much for my Christian principles.
My toothbrush was in the bathroom.
So just to finish up, I didn't step up as the man does in Slavic culture. He is the protector, the provider. And Anna was working, doing videos with Match Guarantee. She was, like my sidekick kind of thing. And so she didn't have time to work. And I needed to step up, and I didn't. And I'm embarrassed to say this now, but she had to, and she was embarrassed, but she had to mention it in some really awkward way. I forget exactly, but she felt, and I felt, and this topic came up. And so the point is that, if I hadn't have stepped up financially, the woman, the Slavic woman in traditional culture perceives that it's not about the money. They perceive that as you don't really care, because love in Eastern Europe, it's about actions. It's not about the word, I love you. The 3-letter word by itself means nothing. It's what's behind it. How do you take care of her? How do you show your love, right? And the financial provisioning, that's the man's role. And if the man doesn't step up like I didn't, well, why would the woman stay? She doesn't feel, this is the main point. She doesn't feel loved, cherished, respected. And so I almost really blew it with Anna, but I course corrected. And now I can pass this lesson along to you guys. And it's toughest for you guys that have been scammed. I get that,
I initiate this conversation, but I would say a lot of Ukrainian women, they would not
Right.
start to talk. They will just quietly leave.
Yeah.
But I have strong feelings. I've just wanted to understand what's going on. Why, like, there is no desire to show care in, like, you know, not only in the words and, like, you know, things that we experience, but like in actual needs. You know, like I had 2 children. I had some expenses. I have, like I said, I cannot see because I have, like, to go, you know, I have to find job until I can, you know, like I had job, but it was not providing. It was remote thing. I was still, keep doing my previous job, but I was just, I feel like I'm, you know, I'm struggling with my stuff, with my issues, and I feel like he's here, but he's not here, you know, like he's not stepping up. And so it's always, as I said, the Ukrainian women have like 6 love language, and number 6, it's if men care or not. And wherever, you know, you have matching love languages, but if she doesn't feel you care, nothing will happen. Like she's asking, if he's not care now, why he would care later when I will move to his country, for example, right? And so, and this can be different things. For example, she's, you know, in a just had bad night, you know, it's missiles was or something, and she's sharing, you know, she wants to share like releases, you know, and he like, oh, like, what was that, you know, okay, next night will be good, you know. She shows that he's don't even like can share this compassion, you know, like simple compassion. So like care in many different ways you can show, but financial one of them. And you know, and sometimes, as I said in my video, they reject. They say, I'm good, but they're like, he will step up and, like, you know, be like a man and said, because often they reject help, you know, like you need to even teach them, you know. But if it's
we have this a lot in couples, right? Where she says, don't worry about it. You don't need to get my airline ticket. And he's like, okay, but because we don't really get their culture, guys. It's such a long process to really understand what makes Slavic women tick. It takes a lifetime, really. I'm still learning. When
she said, I'm good, like, don't worry, Western men think, okay, I don't want to upset her, like, and offend her, because you think, like, she's like a Western woman, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to pitch her help, you know, because it will make her upset. But she's actually, you know, doing this from she wants you to, you know, like, I mean, if she likes you, if she want to be with you, she kind of wants you to be insisting about this, you know, like
what she really means.
She's shy to accept, and it's hard for her, like, to word it out, you know, like, I'm shy to accept, I actually need, but like, and so she's looking if you will take a leader, you know, here and insist, you know, but I mean, if women don't like you, that's the other reason why she don't want to accept, but she will tell you straight in this situation. She will tell you.
You okay, Paul? You froze.
Yeah.
Let's looks like Paul, we'll bring him back in if he unfreezes. So this is a good question. In the Catholic Church, you aren't allowed to marry a divorced woman until they declare the marriage valid or invalid. The Catholic Church needs to declare the marriage valid or invalid. Should I tell her, my Ukrainian girlfriend, this earlier or later in the relationship? Definitely later. Yeah. There's many serious issues, right? Guys ask about, could be you're infertile, could be this topic, could be really serious issues. And usually the case, you want to wait until an advanced stage of the relationship before you get into. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you feel courageous and ready to tell your lessons of life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what Matt means by this?
What just happened to me might need said, so they might even say no when they need it. Yeah, I just was, Matt is our client, and I was just having feedback from ladies. He was telling me, she said, I'm good. You know,
you're not talking about Matt, right?
No, I'm talking about Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the guy who wanted to help our lady, but she was rejecting, but then he insists and she accept, and now she like I know she feels very different
Maybe
now
Matt, is
about
it okay
men.
for us to, Anna, to talk about your case? I mean, it seems like you wanting us to, but I just want to confirm. I already stuck my foot in my mouth once in this live stream. I don't want to do it again.
Joseph, you never done nothing worse than you've done on a wedding or clients.
Oh my God.
So I think
We're at a client wedding in Kiev. That was my worst blunder ever. It was so embarrassing. I said he was British, right? And his mates are around. We're outside, and I met a guy, right? And I said, well, it's nice you brought your mom with you. What was his wife? You see how living in Ukraine and seeing hot women with older guys that aren't so hot, right? You get your paradigm shifts, right? So I had zero thought that could have been his wife, right? I wanted to just hightail it out of that wedding. That was my worst ever. Okay.
Okay, I just
okay, so Matt says sure. So
no, I'm just saying, like what I was telling guys, sometimes Ukrainian women say no, but this is not really no. It means yes, no. It means
no.
please sell it to me. No, please insist. Please, step up and like be a leader. Or
yes means
something.
Yes, and no means yes. Understand?
Yeah, when it's no, really no, you will figure out. It will be very cold. It will be no. Yeah, that then it will be, this no will be very different sound. So in some situation, it's harder to figure out, and I totally get you. It's confusing even for me sometimes, but it's just
okay.
Yeah.
Without further ado, what we've all been waiting for. Everybody's bored about my stories.
Okay.
They know already.
But I will do a little bit different presentation from what you expect. Okay. My story. I just wanted to point it out that when on this stage, when we was our relationship was developing, and we was finding out about what happened before in our life, right? Our ex marriages, and I felt like through our life we was we was preparing to meet each other, and it's like, it's true, we have all different backgrounds, all different experience, and every experience just it's always way to learn and to take out something from it, and I felt I came in my in my marriage with the same thing that Joe came, from being heartbroken from big love, and didn't realize that I shut down my heart and just choose safe path where, and you guys do this too. I mean, I don't know. I think it's more typical for women, but sometimes men do this too. It seems like you allow other person to love you, but you don't involved in your feelings, because your heart protected, because you don't want again to go through pain. So, and you even not aware of that. It took me years to understand why there's no chemistry, and like from everything that I experienced with Joe, I'm so sure now, and I say to guys always now, it's so important for women, not only to men to have chemistry to women, but women have chemistry to you, and you need to sense it, if she's leaning towards you, if she wants you to touch her, this engagement, if she wants to hold hands, if she it's always obvious when it's not there. So this is one thing. I mean, being great friendship, it's not enough. Without friendship in in marriage, it's also not good. But yeah, ideally you have every level of relationship. And Ukrainian women, was the challenging part for me in my other serious relationship, where I always was going, also was going safe, but anyway, before marriage, um, that's when I felt that I was like a trophy girlfriend for a man, and he don't know me like on soul level, and I need to be understood on a deeper level, my personality, who am I, like my authen- authen-
And
authenticity.
there's a lot there deep
Yeah.
to get to know and understand and love.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I, from like a lot of vlogs that I saw, like from Slavic women who've been married to Western guys, they say it's much harder to connect with a guy from another culture in this matter, because you grew up in in different cultures. And like if like Slavic people, they like they crave, especially women, to have this very deep connection with partner, just not to be just great intimacy, to be a friend, to be understood, spiritually, like on. And so they want this, they crave, this relationship that not on the surface, where you just exchange things, right? You provider, she's cooking for you. No, there is something more to this, you like partners, which add to each other, value in different areas of your life. And so if it's not there, if she feels this way, that you see in her just beautiful picture, but you, I don't know, I felt like there is always from his side was desire to improve me, like on the physical level, which I was happy with. And it's like that's everything that was bothering him. But and I saw,
Not nothing to improve with perfect.
yeah.
Seriously, but I can't imagine. You imagine wanting this young lady to get plastic surgery anywhere? Oh my goodness.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, I know a lot of Western guys. I don't know why. Tell me, write me in comments. Why is that? I see that guys from Europe, they more like looking for age gap, like 5 years at the top. But like men from America, somehow, I always like first thing where I open registration, I'm looking at age gap, and I see big numbers always there. So, and I think this industry make you believe that this is real, like with all these beautiful girls that chat to you. But even if you will um, you know find this beautiful girl with a big age gap, if you will not like if she will feel that she's just trophy, it will not last long time. Maybe there is some way why she's possibly can be attracted to you. Maybe she's looking for some mentoring in life, maybe it can be genuine connection. But if it will be not developing, in a deeper areas, your engagement, it will also not be good. So guys, there is nothing more important than love and keeping your heart open, and be ready on a different levels, for this journey, not being heartbroken, because it will never lead you to good result, heal wherever need to be healed, because when you come in a relationship like you and me, right? Can I say names? It's for me, it was like, no?
Yeah, names of who? Huh?
Of my ex-husband and your ex-wife, no?
If you want to.
No, it just was very interesting because
Name and social insurance number?
no, it just, we come from the same pain into and live through the same experience in a relationship. So it was so like mysterious for me. And even names, his ex-wife was with whom he didn't have chemistry, it was Valerie. Valerie,
Mhm.
and my ex-husband Valery. So the same even name, but like girl and boy. And for me, it's like we was we was taught through life, the same things. So when we meet, it was, hmm,
When we met?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Your story.
I mean, you you realize through your experience how important to be attracted, right? And I also, by the time we met, I also healed hard, and I was ready to be open again, right? And just felt like it's not fair, mm, to yourself and to other partner to live in a marriage where you know you don't love. You're just in a position where you receiving, but you're not giving nothing back, right? And there is, like, I think everybody deserves sincerely to be loved, and like, and love back. I mean, it's both ways,
To love and be loved.
to
Of
love
course,
and be
everybody
loved.
deserves it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's out there for everyone. I fervently believe that.
Yes.
You just got to keep looking till you find it.
It's just when we come to the,
Hmm.
in a relationship from this position of safe marriage, blocking our heart. It's always hurts other person, because it was very, I'm pretty sure this was very challenging marriage for this like your first marriage, Valerie, right? Like there is, I mean, I cannot imagine for myself, I cannot imagine nothing more painful for women than being with a man who is not attracted to you. I mean, for Ukrainian women, will be, I don't know. They do so much, like for men to be attracted to you. It will be like a kiss of death. I mean, I don't know how to say. This is like life is ended if my man not attracted to me. It's so painful for every woman, like to feel this way, and they go through this pain sometimes. When men leave them for other women, he's not interested in me, and this is their big pain,
Mhm.
and this is big part of divorces in Ukraine, because so many women, I don't know,
What's a big part of divorce in Ukraine?
when men leave for other woman, because so many,
Oh, leave her for another woman?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and she's
Yeah.
like, she feels,
Infidelity.
she
Infidelity and
feels,
alcoholism and marrying young. I think that explains a big part of the high divorce
no,
rate
there
in
is
Ukraine.
one you missed, and
Which one?
it's huge. It's physical abuse, which big, and
Yeah. I thought I said that. No, maybe I didn't.
no,
Yeah.
physical abuse.
Marry young, alcoholism, domestic violence, and infidelity. Yeah. Those 4 reasons explain, because a lot of you guys ask, well, hey, divorce rate in Ukraine is really no different than in the West. So that means Ukrainian women aren't more committed, right, to a marriage, which is which seems like a very valid, statistically valid comment. But until you've lived there and really felt the Slavic soul, like really understand it, you're just not going to understand this. I know it very well. So Ukrainian women are way, way like 10 times more committed than Western women, right?
I didn't see not one woman who left man, like, for just because she wants upgrade, or just was not good enough for her, like, good man.
Yeah.
There's like was not serious issues.
By the way, John is here in the studio. If as soon as you turn your camera on, John, then we'll know we can bring you in the studio. Meantime, while we're waiting for John, honey, here's one. Do you know
Just
who?
1 hour 30 minutes
Anya,
already.
who is TJ? He's a client, obviously.
Yeah,
You know who?
Yeah.
Who this is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our client.
What's his first name?
Joseph TJ. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember full name.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
it's just very
Okay. So anyway, he's asking. He's scared to screw it up. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Just keep immersing yourself in understanding Slavic culture, because that's the way most relationships that do fail, right? Our client's relationship, it's because the guy puts his foot in his mouth or his action, right? Or non-action, right? So yeah, that's my advice. Just keep and don't worry about it. Communication is key, right? It always is key to any relationship.
Okay, share with TJ this fear. What is this? Of
My fear?
no fear, like it's something that not happened, but we're afraid.
My favorite acronym for fear is
Yeah.
future event appearing real. Future event appearing real. So when you understand that we're afraid of something that hasn't happened yet, right? Like I'm afraid to screw it up. It's future event that appears real. So that really, when you think of that acronym, fear loses its energy. It busts the fear bubble, right? It does for me when I think, oh yeah, what am I worried about? This hasn't happened yet. It's in the future. I'm worried about something that hasn't happened. I got problems that have happened. Let's deal with them, right? Challenges
Yeah,
that
just focus on
yeah.
being in this journey. Just yeah, it's life.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. What I'm saying? Hello.
Joseph, let's invite John. John, turn on.
Oh,
camera.
John is in the house. Okay, great. We can invite him in. Hey, John, welcome.
Hi, John.
Thank you. How are you guys?
Awesome.
you.
4 days to Christmas. How can
You're
you
all
do
better,
that?
Anna.
Yeah, thanks God. Yeah, I still have
Good for
cough,
you.
but it's, yeah, a little bit, just minor one.
Well, I joined your team, and well, the first experience hasn't been exactly wonderful, but I probably shouldn't share that here publicly.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay if you want to.
Well, she insisted on doing video calls and didn't want to message any back and forth. And with the time change,
Mhm.
it's a little bit difficult. Plus, I was busy, and it's pretty nice, even if you're just getting to know somebody, to be able to just send them a message and say, hi, how are you doing? What was your day like? And, that's all very superficial, right? But it's still also polite. And then, I asked her a few questions and she complained that I'm asking her too many questions. She just wants to meet and see how the chemistry is. Well, anybody that's more than 25 years old know that, chemistry on the internet or even in a bar doesn't count for very much until you really get down to the nitty gritty, which is, what are you looking for in life? How do you want to spend your life? What's your dreams? And those things are answered really well by just messaging, in my opinion. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to read 8 Dates, but it's very clear about all this and being curious about your partner. I'm a very curious partner. I'm a very curious person. I can ask a person 100 questions in a dinner, and that can be overwhelming for some people that want to remain, I don't know, mysterious or, think that everything about them is their privacy. But if you're looking for a partner for your life, you don't want any of that. You want full disclosure, transparency,
Joseph, you need
honesty,
to listen. Listen.
and
This is very important, your impact here.
Okay.
It's very interesting, John, because most of our couples, they're struggling with only text. I want like videos, and your partner wants video instead of text. So like it's very different.
Yeah, this is a rare problem. This is a rare problem. She only wants to do video with me, not texting.
But,
my coaching advice is always to guys, text only for the purpose of setting up a video date. And the reason that is because we've had, and it's not just us, it's the whole genre area of relationships, international relationships, where you have miscommunications, different language, right? And the other they don't speak the same language very well, right?
Sure.
Is that you get a lot of relationship misunderstandings, which actually lead to breakups from texting too much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think the video call is more likely to, well, let's just say chemistry in general. People in society, especially in Western society, they're all wound up in chemistry. And until you really get to know a person, the chemistry that you get out of a Zoom call in the beginning and an international dating scene and international meet your soulmate, it's not very substantial, and it's probably maybe a Zoom call is more substantial between, well, I'm in Hawaii right now, between Hawaii and
Nice.
Ukraine, that it's not much better than meeting a person in the bar where you can't, really figure out anything other than chemistry. Oh, she has beautiful eyes and look at those lips and look at that body and blah, blah, blah. That, if you really want to find somebody that wants to live the lifestyle you have, you got to find somebody with common interests, or at least, common interests is number one.
I think it's just maybe what you're facing is just different dynamic of how quickly Slavic women opens up compared to Western women. They more like direct and faster to opens up.
Oh yeah.
Slavic women doesn't matter that they don't want, but they like it's just slower. The dynamic slower, and you see, like for me, I love to talk to my friends on telephone or video. More than like any text. Guys who chat with me, they'd send me long books and I'm like 2 smiles back, or like 5 words maximum type. I don't like to type. Also a lot of Ukrainian people, women, they know how to speak, they know language, and I also facing this problem. I've learned quite a few words that I don't know how to write. So and sometimes I'm going to Google to find like how to write this word. Like I'm using it for so long, but I never saw how to write. So they're very self conscious about making mistakes and don't look stupid. This is her worst fear to and she don't want to be ashamed. And so it's more like it's not so efficient for her if she can speak. It's much faster, and like you can get better result in like getting to know each other by having video instead of having chat. So
can I just add something that's pretty funny? Just quickly. How many times I heard this in Ukraine? 1,000,000 times. I'm like dog. I can hear, but can't speak.
Yeah.
I heard that 1,000 times.
This was not the circumstance. This circumstance I had was not that. She's very good in English.
Oh, great.
We did have a video call, and then we planned on another one. She was late or missed them both, and it's kind of weird. I think it's a special case. Everybody's a special case, or unique case, and
I would say from the beginning of relationship, there is a lot of testing goes, both ways. And women always like, they always like to be late on a date and see reaction, if man will blow up or he will be angry or what he, they want to see in different life situation where, they bring you out of your comfort and what's come out from this, because she's taking big risk, to go somewhere on a different continent, and being under your protection. And she needs to see like if you're adequate person, if you, not will I don't know, just simply don't have anger issues or like something that they're afraid, because this is a big part of what they what they experience in relationship locally with men as abuse. So they want to see if there is any like stability in emotion. So there's a lot of testing goes both ways. Men testing these things, financial things, if she's not scam or whatever, and she's looking at more like his personality. So, but anyway,
I think it was kind of backwards. She was doing some serious shit testing, and I'm just trying to communicate, and she's well traveled apparently, and also an entrepreneur, but it just and unique in many ways, which I was initially pretty enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hey, I'm not crying my eyes out. I mean, you barely know this woman. But
yeah. But
I would just
reality,
say
one more thing I want to add. This is very important. A lot of Ukrainian women, they don't perceive this distance relationship like serious until they actually meet men, because a lot of men for years stuck on this even free websites, never take efforts to come and actually meet. So for her, like, are you one of those, or like, actually will I ever see you? And to my surprise, we have clients that never show up to meet our ladies. Like I would imagine we will have, quality of the men to, with our coaching and our efforts, like, will not be working. We have one client that was communicating before war with one of our lady that get married with other client. He was communicating 1 year with her, and then she said, I don't know if I will ever meet him. So she, she said, no, I don't want anymore, like continue this, and and then after she quit from this relationship in 1 week, there's men come physically to Kiev, and we introduced them, and they got married within I don't know, half a year or something. And for her it was this is like real man, this is real relationship. So a lot of them, they have, unfortunately, and I mean they have, I just explained why, because a lot of them been burned out from distance relationship and never nothing come out. That's why they burned out and like question, will they ever see you if this is serious? And so until they actually meet you, they like question. Especially she's an entrepreneur, I hear that she's well traveled, she's like very, I think, what it calls this, what you like to do many things at the same time, you were
Multitask.
No,
Utilitarian.
And this is why she don't want to communicate a lot, because chat is not so effective, like not so productive. But when she meet, you chemistry is also not only like, yes, you can get to know each other through text, but in actuality, if you come there and you smell pheromones that like you kind of handle each other, there is not much, even if you like each other, but if you feel like it can happen.
Oh yeah, it happened to me.
Yeah.
I met a hot Italian.
I mean, and she even mentioned that she doesn't want to text for years, and but she did that after I asked her if she wanted to meet this month and December, and she said no, she was busy maybe in January, and then she says she doesn't want to text for years. Well, I'm not interested in texting for years or messaging for years, but I don't want to fly a third of the way around the planet to meet somebody that I don't really know what she wants to do in her life.
Yeah, but you can have several video calls before that. Before, this is the way we was mostly working, just like men was coming and start everything from first date, right? And women was not open for any distance introductions because of that reason, But when COVID happened, everybody become more open-minded. But if you know about this, if you come and there is no chemistry or something happen, we will set you up with other dates just because you're there. So don't worry. Yeah, we'll do our best to accommodate you with this. So
right,
yeah, you don't know chemistry, right? Neither of you until you meet face to face, right? So and we have found that ladies have become much less patient with a guy, with communicating online, like long distance with a guy, since the war began. They're really on a fast track timeline compared to what it was before. Yeah. And you can understand, because their life has been flipped upside down, right? They have no kind of security anymore, no direction in life. I mean, when you look at the statistics of Ukrainian people that left when the war began and now who have returned, there's not a lot out. It's like net 1 million or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but it's something like 75% have come back, because what's happened is they've left, they made a go of it in Germany or in UK or wherever they went, Canada. We talked to a lot of Ukrainian people that are going back, even a dentist going back because they can't make ends meet here. They can't make a go of it here. And so they're going back, and the life is just upside down. So yeah, we find the consequence of that is that the dating timeline is really fast tracked.
Well, that's interesting. I don't have any problem with that. I just want to find somebody that meets expectations or common interests. It boils down to common interests. I think that's well known in relationships, that a couple is going to be more successful if they share common interests. And one of the most powerful, I think, sentences that came out of 8 Dates for me, and I've been previously married, is that successful couples are always going to have inevitable differences. It's inevitable that you're going to have differences in your relationship, right?
You
But
need to have differences.
yeah, but successful couples, they remain curious about their partner's difference. And unsuccessful couples are intolerant and insist on being right. That was an eye-opener for me. I love it. It's obvious. A lot of the stuff in good relationship advice, all of it's common sense if you happen to read it. A lot of people don't read it. You know, a lot of people don't come across it. I mean, my parents, for instance, they got married out of practical reasons. They were poor. They were in the Midwest. My mom was born in 1929, the year of the Depression. They didn't get married out of love and romance, but that came in time. They got married purely so they could pay the rent and buy food. You know, I mean, now it's different. You know, the statistics say people get married for love and romance, and then, you know, if it was just chemistry from the bar, from the first few dates or the first year of the honeymoon, and if they're not committed to the relationship, it's over with. It's just going downhill.
Yeah. Agree. You want to say something, Love?
Yeah, about even when we use this love code for like analyzing a couple's values, it's ideally the best match. It's when you have like one letter in common and one different. So you have common ground, commonality in some things, and some is different. And this differences create attraction between you and her, and the same things also create attraction because it's the same area of interest. And yeah, you see, it's interesting because she don't want to meet this month. I mean, okay, December, it's like holidays and everything, family stuff, and maybe too early to meet with a stranger, you know, need a little bit to talk to you. But next month, yeah, it's, you see, she wants. And I love what Matt wrote here. He went, Joseph, where is this? Matt.
Down. I just met her. I just met her.
No. Yeah. No? Yes, yeah. I did. I went to meet.
Yeah, Matt's our client, and he just went. Yeah.
Met to meet less than a month after introduction. Consider it's a vacation you'll enjoy along at the worst case.
Sure.
You'll enjoy it alone, worst case.
But it was good.
Hopefully not.
You know, no, their relationship continue and everything good. They're planning on second trip, but like, you know, it's just the way she perceives you now after meeting. It's very different. It's very different. And I think, John, your curiosity, you talker, yeah? You talker by nature. You talk a lot.
What?
You're a talker.
If I'm interested in a person, yes, you know, and then I can do it I can do it in the grocery store line with a total stranger, but it won't last very long because for most people, there's not a, you know, connection or common interest. But, you know, I've met a person traveling. A couple of my best friends, men, are just guys that I said hello to, and one thing evolved to another, and we have common interests. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, 6 months or a year later, we keep communicating, and we're best friends, and we're, you know, it's really, and in those cases, so regardless of the sex, whether it's a man or a woman, what initiates and fuels a friendship or a relationship is common interest.
Yeah.
And I think it's for everybody. And I don't think it's, you know, I think it's just universal. And if, and, you know, you guys run a matchmaking company, and I understand that there's a whole lot of factors that are hard to match unless, you know, you found somebody that shared my common interest, which is pretty rare.
Yeah. Very
in
unique.
the first place.
Unique request. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was asking you about, you see, you want to chat, you have, like I said, you can ask 100 questions on the, you know, on a day.
Yeah, you know me that well already.
Yeah, and it's good. It's just for some ladies.
Well, let's be straight. It's very non-Slavic, right? They're not used to that.
Yeah,
men are stoic and quiet in Ukraine. They ask questions to get to know her, but then they listen. So they're not used to talkers. I did a video years back called verbal diarrhea, and because I had one particular client from New Zealand, and he was on video, and he just went into he's young too. He was like, I think it was 30 or something. So he was good looking, young, but he just went in and just wouldn't shut up. He's the talk, 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 talk. And he blew it with every lady because they were just like, weird.
Wow.
I don't know how to.
Yeah.
So just be aware that that's the case, right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
like a lot of questions. Yeah.
I know because I'm a talker too. I verbal diarrhea. That's my middle name.
Did you
I'm
have problems
Canadian.
like that?
I had huge problems when I first started. When I first went there, yeah.
Still have problems because we fight who will speak in the family.
What?
No, let me speak. Because women normally talk, right?
Oh, I
She
get
says
it.
we fight for conversation all the time. We battle for conversation.
Well,
all the time.
I believe I'm a good listener. I mean, I had to in my work. I had to be able to express myself and to listen very well. I was a technical consultant in my work.
Yeah.
But anyway, John, all good. From what I hear, all good. Just be patient. I would encourage you to be patient and go meet with her as soon as you can. One thing I learned about how Ukrainian men, like I learned a ton from going to a banya every Saturday with 10, 15 naked Ukrainian men, right? They strip down, fish, beer, vodka, and sauna.
Looks like John wants this experience.
It's cultural, right? It's cultural, right? I got used to it eventually, but it was weird at the beginning. But then, anyway, I hear their stories and I hear how they behave, and they talk about women, their wives, their mistresses, unfortunately, and they all drive home absolutely smashed. But anyway, I digress. I learned that Ukrainian men are very cavemanish. Like, for example, if you were a Ukrainian man, you would say something like, "Listen, I'm coming to meet you soon. I'm thinking January 12th. Is it good?" So they're like, "I'm coming," right? So it's not a question, can I come? Like guys that say, "Can I come?" It's not. The lady receives that very strangely. Say, "Why is he asking? He needs to tell when he comes. Why is he asking me?"
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And so the guy just kind of says, "I'm coming, and I'm coming. I'm thinking the 12th or the 14th, which is better for you." So it's like he asks for a little bit of input from her, but not much. It's like, "I'm coming, get ready."
Yeah.
See the difference with our culture, right? And so,
well, that is very different.
Yeah, it's very different. It's very different. Takes a long time to learn what makes these ladies tick. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I would say this is very brutal. Not every woman would be attracted to this. They want to be heard. They want to be, kind of like a partnership. But I said the main issue with this distance relationship for most of them, it's just like, if this is real, if I will ever see you, this is always like on background, here.
Yeah.
And when I meet you, will you smell good? Will you have trimmed nails? Will you have nothing under your nails?
I can answer yes to all of those.
That was a problem for me.
Will you not forget wallet when you come on a date with me? So I have to pay, because is this all real cases? I'm telling you that they experience when they meet. So
Not Western men.
Western men who come to date our clients, sometimes it happens, and this is all feedback, and it's just not. It's hard.
Even forgot his wallet twice. Yeah,
with two different ladies. So every time when he meet, so
That's
every
quite
time,
strange.
huh?
I did that once.
No,
I did that once. I forgot my wallet. It was an expensive restaurant. Yeah, so she waited there while I took a cab back home to get my wallet. I came back.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Although, I mean, you guys have a feeling or knowledge of how many guys are using your services and on your website, because they just can't possibly get anywhere domestically. I mean, there are men like that, just like there are women that don't get anywhere in relationships. Oddballs, right? There's oddballs everywhere.
What was your question more specifically?
Well, you mentioned guys that make these mistakes. Anna did, that make mistakes in dating, that some of these guys might be so odd or unusual that they wouldn't be successful where they live. So maybe
yeah.
they're just going abroad for that reason. I mean, I can be successful here. I just disappointed with the market. When you say, the marketplace, and Western women, I spent a lot of my working life in Europe, and I'm coming back to the United States, and I'm meeting women that have, way too many prerequisites. Like, I'm always going to love my kids more than I'm ever going to love you, and you're not very important to me, stuff like that,
In some situation, there is someone who really couldn't be successful locally, but in some situation, what I'm observing, it's very open-minded for me, very open-eyed, or I don't know how to say, very interesting for me, that it seems like it's sabotaging of relationship. He wants, but he's doing everything to sabotage them. And he see that, because he said, I normally never forget what's going on. So just, on psychological level, he's protecting not to start relationship, to do everything to, to put them down when they just started. So sometimes it's just some things that it's not funny at all, it's just I'm asking, please, pay attention. This is, it's really good guy, we interview them. I couldn't imagine he would, do such a thing. And he said, I'm shocked at myself. I'm asking myself why I'm sabotaging them. So sometimes this happened too. But but being just hygienic, it's a big thing when you date Ukrainian women. Having clean shoes, having clean clothes with no holes, with no spots on it. Simple things. It's really important, and those things you cannot understand by video, much. No, really.
Yeah, Matt's a talker too. I remember you, Matt. You're a real talker too.
Yeah.
So we've all had to learn this lesson, dating Slavic women.
Yeah, I don't think guys don't have chance if they talker. I think it's just a matter of finding woman who will be happy with a talker.
Yeah.
I cannot be with not talker.
She needs a talker. So
you describe me this man.
match.
I come from 8 to 14. I would say, F you, to such a message. Okay.
For what?
If such a man would approach me, I'm coming from 8 to 14, I'm coming. You describe Slavic. I don't want to be treated this way, So I
can say I started changing my dating behavior according to what I learned from Ukrainian men, and it worked.
Okay.
But like you say, not with everybody, but they preferred somebody more direct. Like I stated, we're going. I wouldn't ask. I'd say we're going here.
Yeah, it's
right?
more leading
it. I wouldn't ask, and definitely ask her where she wants to go. That's what I did at the beginning, right? And then I understood. Yeah, I learned made all the mistakes, and then
I understand that.
I started being more direct, and I started getting better feedback, and just say, we're going for dinner over here. I made a reservation or whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to address this Muslim guy in here quickly,
100%.
just quickly, then we'll move on. Sorry, buddy. But there's a Muslim guy saying, I'm Muslim. I want to find a Muslim Ukrainian wife. Sorry, we can't help you. They're almost non-existent in Ukraine. And even Muslim men that are practicing, we can't accept those clients either because they're almost impossible to help. The best chances is for you to go there, go there and meet wherever you can out and about. Go to Warsaw, the new Kyiv. That's my advice to guys that we can't help. So I hope that helps. Honey, I think we should jump into the fears. John, do you have any more questions? We're going to just jump into fears and talk about them and then end the stream.
Oh my goodness.
I have a lot of questions, but you guys go ahead. I'm going to listen.
Well, do you have a burning question? I don't want to.
No, I don't think I.
Okay.
I never did. I'm just sharing my most recent experience, which was my first one with your guys match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your coach?
Luba.
Okay. Well, Luba's fantastic. You can,
great. I have a better conversation with her and Anna than I did Julia.
Yeah. Well, Luba won't steer you wrong. Whenever you have doubts, just reach out to her, and I would recommend that. And
she's on a vacation right now, and she's traveling around Western Europe.
For 5
By
days.
bus.
She's on a 5-day vacation.
It's all in 5 days.
Yeah.
My God, that makes Americans that go to like Europe for a week and think they got to see it all. That's kind of along the same lines, but
Yeah.
that's amazing. Only 5 days through all those countries by bus,
Yeah.
and then what I haven't asked her yet, which is amazing to me, is like, why would you go back to a place where there's a war? I would just get off the bus and say goodbye to the bus. Yeah, but I think differently, and we all think differently.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why
Yeah.
all Ukrainian people coming back to Ukraine with the same.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they think differently.
They love Ukraine.
Oh,
medical system free.
Mhm.
Anytime,
Yeah.
super quickly you get it. Cost of living very cheap, very affordable. I don't know, just your parents' family there. If when you go, like you heart live there. Like my everyday thoughts. How's my family there? So like when you're there, you kind of have sense of controlling something, or just be there, like to
Plus they
help.
can't-
If something happened, if you have older family,
Of course.
and
Plus they can't make ends meet, right?
yeah.
Can't
work,
provide.
no language, for example,
Mhm.
for to
I can
to go
understand all of those things.
right?
I lived abroad in many countries in my life, and I
Mhm.
can understand how a less secure person or a woman more than a man is going to feel less secure, not having any family or friends anywhere.
Mhm.
I lived in Holland for a long time, and then I moved to Germany for work.
Mhm.
I found the culture difference between Germany and Holland to be shocking, and I did not like living in northern Germany. I just did not like the people there.
That's Anna's brother now. These are
Please.
yeah, brother and family. They're in northern, isn't it? Northern Germany, right?
No,
No.
I don't know. No,
Well, anyway,
No.
they don't like Germany.
no, they like. Which
They like?
You
Well,
don't like. I don't like.
I like-
They like it.
Hey, no, don't get me wrong. I love Germany. I just don't like the
Yeah.
people.
It's just very different culture. They're very close.
It is.
Compared
They're very
to-
Very
close.
hard. Very hard too. Very
Yeah.
hard. But they have great social systems. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
it's always
Yeah.
a trade-off.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, thanks for joining us, John. Come
Yeah.
back on any other time, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. And all the best with your relationship. Just hang in there.
I just saw your email. I thought it was like, hey, John, we want to talk to you. Call us. And here I am. And I see now this is a group thing. Your emails were going to my junk folder. I don't know why, but I just discovered them. And I just really kind of came on a vacation. So I had time to like sit down and check out my emails.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Super.
Okay,
Well, thanks for
okay.
joining us.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you. And
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Are you guys going away or are you going to continue?
Nope.
No.
Home.
You're done.
Yeah. At home. Doing it at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I mean in this conversation, are you going to keep going in this web chat?
Oh yeah, we've got
yeah, we
more
continue.
content to deliver. Yeah.
Okay, goodbye for now.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, John. Take care.
I'm going to pay attention.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Okay, so we're going to jump into the top fears.
I love number 3, Joseph. You look
Yeah,
so
number
lazy.
3 is our graphic designer did this, and I went, oh man, thanks, Dima. Like, hey, sweetie,
We just came back.
we're live.
I like.
Oh, you're live?
Yeah.
I thought you finished.
No, we didn't
God.
finish. No, it's okay, Joseph. It's kids.
Easy.
Everybody knows we have kids.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
need to go.
Okay, sweetie.
Okay,
Did
one
her
hop,
fun?
one hop, and you go down and don't use internet.
Oh, you went to the farmer's market? Did you
Yeah.
buy anything? You spend your money?
Yeah, spend all of it.
Dad, Elizabeth came to the farmer's market.
Joseph, I didn't go.
No, come around here and be on camera at least if
Okay.
you're going to talk so everybody can see how big you're getting.
I spend all of it.
All money.
Elizabeth came
Yeah.
to farmer's market saying that there's nothing to buy, but then she spent $40.
You spent all your money?
Yeah.
She spent extra
Wow.
$43.
We
so I
gotta
had to
we
help
gotta
her.
spend her here. We gotta
I
spend her.
spent extra $43.
Extra $43.
And mommy, I even bought
You
you
Borrowed $3 from your sister?
2.
Okay.
And then the other people just gave her a little downside.
Yeah.
Just
And
don't.
I even gave you I even bought you a Christmas present.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
That's
Mm.
wonderful. Very kind of you.
Do-
Okay, girls,
Now
thanks
go
for
down.
touching
Uh-huh.
base.
Thank you.
Aren't they getting big?
Yeah.
I know,
Somebody
especially
was
Irina.
asking about them.
Dwachinka. You want? Why do you wait? Tell everybody why you take Daddy's water all the time.
Because I think it's fine.
Oh, that's not. What about extra love? She always used to say, because it has extra love, Dad. I take your water. It's got extra love. you forgot that, I
Yes,
guess.
but
Eh?
can you bring please more water? Okay.
I
Put it
take
in
your
there.
water because you never get mad at me.
Okay, downstairs.
Thank
Downstairs sweets. All right.
Wait,
Yes, our precious girls. So, right. Well, what I want to talk about next is I said in an email that I have bad news and good news. The bad news is the Christmas special, which is $2,000 fee to start with and $500 a month. Cancel anytime for unlimited dating, unlimited coaching. It's sold out. Okay. But then just after I sent that email, I got a text from a client that was supposed to pay. He had the invoice and he said, I'm going to wait until I was just jumping on it because it's such a great deal, but I really should wait a little bit until other things align in my life. So there still is one spot left. That is the good news. And if you guys have any questions about it specifically, but basically, like I said, it's $2,000 upfront fee and then $500 a month every month, but you can cancel at any time. And the reason I think you guys are really jumping at this, like we've had 26 applications and 9 sales, and there's still the one spot, is because, well, it's cheap to get in and you might meet your lady in the first month, right? There's a good chance, in fact, right, that you meet her in the first month. And if you feel you don't need our coaching support, right, you could cancel at month 1, month 2, 3, whatever. How do you start off with? So you would go to matchguaranteed.com/deal. Okay. Or you can go up there on this link here. You can go up there and register there, or matchguaranteed.com/deal. That's specifically applying for the Christmas special and snag that last remaining spot. You want to say something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So what you do is you choose 10 ladies from our website, and then we find out which of those 10 are mutually interested in you. We send your pictures and your introductory letter to the 10 ladies.
Actually, don't do all 10 because you anyway you start like one relationship. So you kind of, if you ask all of them, like we work in your priority. Always men have priority, you know. So because you kind of burn in the bridge for future if you show up now and don't proceed with like introduction to her. So you create list of 10, but we work in like, we can give you feedback of like who we think will be good match accordingly to your list, and then we see our opinion and your desire, because men have like sometimes like, oh, she's the one, like this is my top and I want her. And despite on our recommendation, he still proceed. And you are in control of what's going on here. But like we can have introductions, video dates. But if you like woman and she likes you mutually back and you want to continue a relationship, you start relationship, then then you start relationship. And then if something doesn't work, we just move ahead with another introductions. Mm-hmm.
And just like the 2 clients that were on the stream, you get to know each other long distance, right, over texting and hopefully video, because 70% of communication is verbal, right? So that's why video is just so much more powerful. And then we recommend that you go meet with her at a month or 2 maximum, for reasons we were just discussing in the stream. And then the thing is, though, if you're there, you're in Europe, you go meet her. I was talking to a client earlier in the week, and he said, I know within the first 15 seconds if I have chemistry. And that's probably the quickest guy's comment I've heard. 15 seconds. He said, I'm not quite that fast, but yeah, guys usually know.
What do you mean? You just saw me. I just started to talk to you and you like figure out in 5 seconds or less, actually.
Oh yeah, it was less than 15 seconds for you, babe. Huh?
I think it's, I actually saw Russian trainer for women and women psychologist. And he said, man knows with 15 seconds. Like maybe they're not aware of that, but they know very quickly.
No, we're aware.
Yeah. No, 15 seconds. This is normal. So like this is how it happened for most of the men.
Yeah. Okay. So can I finish my point?
Yes.
Oh, okay. The point is, so you've been communicating. That's why you don't want to communicate too long, really, like a month or two max, because you might go there and it's just a non-starter if there's no chemistry for you or for her. That's it, right? So if that being the case, we can turn on a dime. We already know the next lady that you were, she was like lady number 2 that you were interested in, and she's in, let's say, Paris, or she's in London or Germany. Well, you can just hop a flight. It's less than $100 for a return flight most places in Europe, and you go meet with her directly, right? And if that's no go, then you can fly somewhere else. Like we can do that in Europe. That's not a problem. We just, like, it's one relationship at a time. But the thing is, most guys, at least when you meet in person, they can tell if it's warranted to continue the relationship. Like if there's no chemistry at all, then it's just next, right? So you're not dating multiple people, it's next, right? We're just against multiple ongoing relationships, like communications at the same time. Because the lady, because of your culture being from the West, right? You don't think it's a relationship, you're just communicating. But she thinks it's a relationship, because in Ukraine, ladies don't do that. They don't date multiple guys at the same time like we do in the West. So that's why, again, understanding the culture and how to stack the deck for your success. And that's where we come in, and unlimited coaching. That's extremely important. Most of our our clients that don't end up in marriage, the relationships blow up. It is because of a lack of understanding of the culture and the mindset. So that's why unlimited coaching in the trenches, like actively in relationship, where you have a wing woman or wing man that you can reach out to and ask, hey, she's behaving like this. Like John, was like, hey, maybe I shouldn't even talk about this on the stream. Like, worried me a little bit there, honestly. But I said, yeah, I never sweep anything under the carpet, right? You guys probably saw my I fucked up video. So, I don't sweep shit under the carpet. I just use it as a learning and educational experience for me, for you, etc. So that was a lot of talking.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We'll
Okay.
finish
Okay.
this live stream.
Is there any questions?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a month or two is reasonable. Drag it for a year. No, the woman doesn't want to drag it on. She really doesn't. Like we just said, she wants you to get your butt there, meet her, so you can both understand if you have potential or not.
If it's older lady and she not so don't have my choices. I mean, she never been chosen, maybe first time chosen. She might be willing to wait like up to half a year to meet you. But I would say this is top terms, if she like in the older like ladies,
yeah,
45
50
plus
50,
or 50 plus,
Mm.
we have a lot of them, and not so many,
Yeah, they
men.
rarely get chosen.
they
50 plus
yeah,
women,
so
I will even say almost never get chosen. So yeah. But
So
typically a woman
they-
doesn't want to wait.
they're more loyal too.
Yeah.
But if
for
lady
sure.
speaks fluent English and she, for example, beautiful, right, and she has more choices, so she's kind of more wants to see if it's real, and she kind of
Mhm.
do you understand what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, she has more choices, so she wants to understand if this is real, and she don't want to wait for half a year to figure out this is real or not.
Yeah. See, we're at 2 hours already. I told you we'd be more than 2 hours. She's like, no, we won't go that long.
But I need to.
Okay, we do want to get into it, guys, because I've got some stats for you. It's very interesting. The top 5 fears we have. Lots of statistics. On this. Fear number 1 is can't afford. You see, number 1, can't afford a Slavic wife. At 19% of you voted that in a YouTube poll I did last year. Then number 2 fear, she's desperate during the war and she will use you. 29% of you voted that's your top fear. Okay. And then number 3 there, lovely image, is that match guarantee might also have scammers. That shocked me at 39% of you. 40% of you basically are still worried that we might have scammers. And then the fourth fear is that my friends and family will not support me. That's 8% of you. And then there's a fifth fear here. I'm still damaged from my ex and not ready for marriage, which was me when I started dating, right? I realized after the fact, like I started dating, the ink was not dry on the divorce, right? And I started dating in Ukraine. I realized that, hindsight's 2020, as they say, and it's true. It took me 3 years to really be whole again after a 10-year marriage, right? That I felt violated by, right? Like she came to me for a divorce, right? So it's important to know that you're ready for love again, right? So that's the fear statistics. Let's take a look at the actual pie chart. So this is the YouTube poll. So there you can read it for yourself. The various. So what each one is how did you, the question, the data comes from a question, what's your number one fear? So here, 44% of guys, their number one fear is that Match Guarantee also has scammers, right? 44% of you. This is on the YouTube poll. And then this one is more statistically significant. Because this is from our client registration form. All the thousands of client like we've had over 10,000 registrations over our 7 years. So this is more statistically accurate, but you can see it follows a similar pattern. Number one fear is still Match Guarantee might have scammers. Blows my mind. But just means they haven't been following us long enough. So these are the fears. I'm going to show you one more statistic, and this is from 119 votes from a YouTube survey. The biggest one here is, what are you talking about dating Ukrainian women? There's a war on, don't you know? Like that still is the prevailing doubt or skepticism that we see for clients that we communicate, prospective clients that we communicate with. There's still a big empuzzlement there. They don't understand how it's even possible. Then the second one, I'm afraid, should have interior motive, right? And just use me, 8%. Well, the next one actually is scammers. 38%. The next biggest one, the money thing, 8%. I don't get why now is the best time to find a Ukrainian wife, which is about the silver lining, right? That there's the U4U program in America. So she doesn't have to apply for the K1. You don't have to wait 2+ years and fly back and forth to keep the relationship alive for 2 years. That's expensive. Okay. Now, typically what's happening with our clients is, and I call this the silver lining benefit of the war. It's got to be some positive come out of such an atrocity. And that is that, our clients in some cases are visiting her one time. They meet one time in Europe, and let's say they really click, then they're already making plans for her to come to America, typically, and not get married right away. But, he would need to put her up in an apartment if and until when they mutually agree that she would move in, right? Which is a whole very specific to every person, right? But she's with you, right? In your country, in your city, and you guys can date. There's no pressure. With the K1, she comes, you got 90 days to get married, or she is punted back home, right? Now, I wouldn't want to get married under that kind of pressure. What if you're not sure, right? It's the number one cause of divorce is not being sure, really, rushing into it before you still see her full colors. You both experience each other's from all facets of life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were going to talk about this. So the fear, let's talk about the fears one by one. So fear, number one. Number three here. The fear that Match Guarantee has scammers. Okay, 38 to 44% of you, that's your number one fear. Now, I can understand that from the perspective that if that's your experience, right? And got to remember, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar scam by design industry. So most of our clients, about 80% of you, have had scam experience before. So of course you're going to be sensitive, and especially if you've been taken for 10,000 or more, you're going to be sensitive. So from that side of it, I understand. Take it away, baby. Burp. Good time.
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm how to say too
Yawning.
Yawning. Yeah.
Yawning.
Yeah, I think it's just important to understand. I mean, I think key for guys' success, it's about meeting women who, who come to build relationship, but not to with any other purposes. And so I've heard that since war started, for example, scam agencies, they have spike in registrations, more. No, it's a different fear. We will talk about this too. Anyway, they have more because there is more desperate girls who just want to take advantage, and you need to be aware of that and protect yourself, of course. We have less registration specifically from territory of Ukraine. We have ladies who joining us from Europe, from Uzbekistan, from Belarus, from neighboring ex-Union countries, because you need to be mentally there for a relationship. You need some ladies start from they kind of in a place where, okay, I mean, okay, let's come back. I don't know, my thoughts goes all directions.
Now you know what it's like to be inside Anna's head.
Okay, let's start from most of our ladies, they register with us. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about quality. Most of them, they come by word of mouth referral, and this is their, the most trusted and like pleasant way for us to accept ladies. We know personally her mom or her, friend of her friend, and like, for example, when I start to help at Magic Guarantee, I immediately told all my friends, there is really one agency that is good, who wants on board, and like call all my friends and tell like my my relatives who works in international companies. So they have a lot of ladies who, who was jealous to her about her marriage and wanted to find good men, so they was happy to join us. So this is, but yet we have educational, we educate ladies, we have platforms, and those ladies who come across those one, they see that we are different too, so they express desire to join. But there is some girls who saw, I don't know, those who actually see our Magic Event, they also see what we're teaching, and they can understand quality of the men that they will be introduced to. They're happy to join too. But those who come across just through website, don't know, what is that? They kind of knock in our door with the first question, what's your condition? And we understand by that question, they mean how much you will pay me. And so, because that's what they experience, join scam agencies being paid. And so they want to have as many registration as possible, because, she gets a little bit here, a little bit there. So of course we tell we don't pay ladies, and they always confused what they work for free. they like don't understand this answer. What's wrong with your agency? You're such a bad agency. So of course those ladies just cannot come in our database, and this is the first filter, like mismatch here. So they don't interested in us, we're not interested in them. But then
what's our acceptance rate?
A lot of ladies that been going through process of onboarding, they say we never been interviewed nowhere, like in any agency that we've tried to find husband from, like nobody cares. So like personal interview is just something unheard of. And yet from 10 ladies that knock on our door doing small steps of we accept, it's not word of mouth, but those who come across our social media, 10 ladies, we accept one lady in 10. due to any reasons on different stages. She might be not serious to come even for Zoom interview. She might looking for someone who will, foreigner who will relocate and live with her in Ukraine, which is not, you know, realistic. Or if she say like, I don't care about age gap at all, this is huge sign of like, you know, scammers. So we don't want to take those one on board, because we know, you know, honest answer, they do care, they know, and sometimes we try to stretch them in their like perception, you know, be more open-minded, you know. There is can be good man, just don't like shut out yourself for, you know, opportunity to meet. Like there is different men and some of them look much younger, you know, so like be more open-minded. But anyway, it's their decision always. So there is different reasons for not ready for a location. I see this as a huge problem with matchmaking in America. People have settled life, and even they like each other. I heard this so much times. Men, like I see they troubling that woman cannot give up on her life and, you know, relocate to a different state. And so that's how relationship end up. So the very important for us to understand her ability to be relocated, right, to move to man's country. And yeah, and yeah, you want to tell, like, yeah, our Tatiana, she's
Did you mention that we accept 1 in 10?
yeah.
Okay.
I said this. Yeah.
Okay, I was off
It
in my head
sounds
a little
scary.
bit there,
It
though.
sounds scary, but it is what it is.
Well,
You know.
that tells you, you know, like I did a video that went viral in 2018. I was walking in the Sumi slushy snow in early spring, and it was called "The Dirty Truth Marriage Agencies Do Not Want You to Know." And the dirty truth is, good girls don't come to marriage agencies or matchmaking agencies. So that's counterintuitive, right? You're like, well, what do you mean? You're an agency, right? So how do you get your girls? So the reason that is, right, is that because everybody in Ukraine, man or woman of adult age, knows that this is just a racket, right? It's just a way to take advantage of naive foreigners. They think, you know, you guys are stupid and you deserve what you get. You know, 6-year-old guy hitting on a 22-year-old girl, 25, whatever. You know, what is that? They deserve it, right? That's their attitude, right? I've interviewed scammers before on mail order bride scams, etc. So anyway, the point is the whole country, all people know, is just a ruse. So if it's a good girl, why would she want to go to an agency to take advantage and scam people of money and gifts and stuff like that? She doesn't. She's just, you know, good old school, well-raised, you know, normal average Ukrainian woman is quite high value, you know, in my very strong opinion. Just meeting ladies out and about in the street, shopping mall, whatever, the grocery store, they are salt of the earth for the most part. So anyway, yeah, she has no incentive to go to an agency because she believes they're all, you know, a ruse. So now, easy explanation, right? Makes sense. So that means the job of an agency to find high value women is not an easy one. And that's why honest databases are not huge. We have 1,100 ladies. That is pretty big in the honest world. In the scam world, it's nothing, right? There's sites with 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, and even millions of profiles in some of these scam by design sites, right? So how most of the ladies we get is from word of mouth referral, right? So we have a happy story, whether it's an engagement or it's a marriage, and only then the lady will tell her girlfriends, unless it's her best friend. She might share with her bestie, but for the most part, Ukrainian culture, it's a mindset thing. It's a superstition thing, is they don't share any happy news, any good news until it actually comes to fruition, because they believe they're going to spook it away. So once she does get usually married, she'll tell a bunch of friends, and then that goes like wildfire. And we can get 100 registrations from one marriage. So let me just put up a slide here that is, I've explained this before, but on the topic of, does Match Guarantee have scammers as well? I will talk about Our Lady database quality control cycle. So time to build the database, the blue pie, which is half of the time, is big, because you can only build an honest database slowly over time, and then cultivate it, over time. So that's why that's big. This represents time. And then the green primary screening would be a video interview on Zoom. Now, most of them are done on Zoom with our psychologist and head matchmaker, Tatiana, who's been doing this for 27 years, and she's very good. She knows when a lady's deceiving her, and she's designed trip cord questions that will trip up an applicant when she's interviewing them, right? And I could tell you, I've told you what a few of them are in the past. And then if she answers that question incorrectly, she's automatically gone. If they're so we can tell with very, very strong accuracy what her motivation is. So that's that component. And then educating our ladies, right? So we are constantly educating our ladies as to, like you guys need an education as to how Slavic mindset is, they need to be educated as to how our Western mindset is, so they don't freak out if they don't get flowers maybe on the first date, right? They understand a bit. But that is a difficult task, I tell you, and it is ongoing, just like educating you guys. What's worse, honestly, trying to educate the Ukrainian ladies, right? They're very thick-headed. So it's the truth. Dating feedback. Well, there has to be a feedback loop between you guys that become clients and you're dating our ladies. We always, for every date, we get feedback mainly from your main coach, right? Your main wing woman. And if something is suspicious, well, we send it up the flagpole, right? It goes up to Tatiana, and then Tatiana would call the girl. And if it's a reasonable explanation, she knows bullshit from reality. She's been doing this for 27 years, right? She's very, very good at it. And if it's not a reasonable explanation, and if Tatiana doesn't buy it and she did something that was taboo, she's out. We have kind of a zero tolerance of certain things, certain behaviors and stuff like that. If there's a big red flag, she's just gone. Like, we don't protect her and give her a second chance, because we know you guys are looking for quality ladies, and that's our job, to bring you quality ladies. And this, we take it as an opportunity to get to purge, right? So then secondary screening.
It's a new lady who just started a relationship. That's very important, because then you know all true intentions, whatever. If she was very foxy, going through all stages, but then true colors always come out in relationship with men. And it's not always can be even like she's necessarily scammer, but maybe there is a lot of damages, like to a person that she what not we call high quality woman, like she's not ready mentally or something, and it can be also reason for you tell her you need to work on yourself, heal yourself, whatever, because we see there is things that not allowing her to build relationships. So but this is all we can see in relationship with men, because the way women behave with women is one thing, but with the man, this is her coming up, her role model with father, that's everything there with a man. And it's very different.
I'll just throw in that like John, he's still hanging in the background here. The reason it's critically important to be patient dating Ukrainian ladies now is,
oh yes, very good point.
Yeah, patient and understanding, because I don't know, have you ever gone through what they're going through now? I haven't. I mean, we fled. We were lucky. We got out 6 days before the war actually started. We saw it coming, even though everybody was calling me crazy at the time, including Anna's family. But I really did see it coming, and we were fortunate. Our children didn't have to witness any of the travesties that children have witnessed, men, women, children have witnessed in Ukraine and living through daily sirens. A lot of our ladies are back in Ukraine. So it really, I can't stress this enough, guys. If you're going to be successful, you've got to make sure your empathy is the forefront, that you're leading with patience and empathy and not getting excited about little trivial things, right? Don't sweat the small stuff. It's a good book. And very important here. So, yeah. You want to say anything on that?
Yeah, I
What do you want?
completely agree with you.
Oh, do you want to say something?
Yeah, this is again about this emotional connection and like being understood. Of course, you cannot like really 100% understand her because you never live it through, but like have normal level, like being a human to a human, understand. I hear this, sometimes feedbacks like, oh man, I had like really bad night, and I shared with him, and he just replied that he's so sad. He's still like so offended at his friend who didn't congratulate him with birthday, and like I need to support him and nurturing him because he's now in such big upset, because of that. And I feel like we kind of don't understand each other. Like she in a position where she expects to have some support and like some nice words from him, but like instead she has to the small
So he's upset
encourage-
because she didn't congratulate him about his birthday.
Not him. She congratulate his friend didn't congratulate him, and he's very upset, and he's complaining to her about this. And she doesn't have energy to hear complaining because she just survived night where like I don't know, missile hit next building, and she's just so happy that she survived, and she doesn't understand like it's like talking in between different planets.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. I mean, we hear these stories every day, right? We're coaching you guys through these relationships, and we see they're failing because of a lack of understanding of the tradition and the mindset, which is radically different than ours. Case in point here. Okay, and then I just wanted to put this up because we've had different streams about this, but a lot of you guys are curious. How does it compare using an agency? Well, in this case, Match Guarantee, compared to do it yourself? Because there are a lot of, especially on YouTube, there's a lot of guys that prefer to go to Ukraine Date, for example, which is a free or nominal fee dating platform, and there's all kinds of free or nominal fee dating platforms, right? And you get what you pay for. So on mail order bride scams, though the scams are either coming from the paper letter sites or the free or nominal fee dating sites where they're meeting opportunists, right? So anyway, I did a challenge called the Do It Yourself versus Match Guarantee Challenge, comparing time cost and financial cost to either engagement or marriage. And you can see here the difference, right? The red is the do it yourself, both time wise and financial. You can see the scales there. Take a look. And then the blue with our logo in it, that's our clients that participated in the challenge. That's how long it took them and how much it cost them. So you see it's many orders of magnitudes cheaper and faster to use an honest agency, right? To meet, to know somehow in your gut, right? And that's for you to figure it out. If you're meeting and how you're meeting high quality women, right? That's where it's all at, because then it can happen fast when you have a high quality woman, a high quality man with the same intention, the same goal, which is love. And you guys laugh at me in comments, but happily ever after. I don't know. Last time I said happily ever after, I couldn't believe all the negative comments. Joe, you're so naive. Well, I'm living happily ever after. That's my belief now, and it's my reality. So,
I was
skeptical at the beginning.
It took me several months to jump in, but I found that letter.
Well, thanks,
you,
TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for those kind words.
I remember name how to write, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I don't want to make mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just too complicated for me. All foreigners' name is complicated for me. It's like for you was Konstantin in Ukraine, you know. Try to say it, you know. And I will be just sitting and watching and laughing.
So
I
what
don't know.
left, honey? Do you guys have any more on your notes here to talk about? Otherwise,
no.
I think we're at a 2.5-hour end here. I think we'll wrap it up here shortly. Again, guys, there's only one spot left. You haven't seen us this cheap before. Instead of paying $10,000 for unlimited matchmaking, you can get in for $2,000 up front and then $500 a month. But you can cancel that at any time, right? And you're going to get introductions to as many ladies as you need, right? I always say, and we're on the topic of divorce. I haven't said it on this stream, but I've said it many times. In my fervent opinion, the reason for divorce is, I'm going to say men, because we're responsible for us, right? Settling. So we're dating somebody and they're not ticking all of the main boxes that we need, the big boxes. I don't mean all the little, but the main points, or they're hitting red flags and deal breakers, yet we get married, right? We settle when you don't have chemistry. What did I just say? My case was in divorce number 1 for me. I settled. And it's not that she's a bad person. She's an amazing person. But I wasn't true to myself. And I feel that this is happening in the West increasingly because of a lack of choice. You know, women just aren't what we're looking for in the West anymore. Don't shoot the messenger. It just is what it is, right? That's why you guys are all flooding, not just to Ukraine, but abroad. And there's many other countries that you guys, guys go and marry in, right? Because you have plethora of choice. And like with us, you have unlimited dating. So you have no reason to settle anymore. And you will experience that the beauty level that you can date, some age, some younger, right? Some a bit younger, like 5 to 10 years is quite normal. You can easily get that, right? And so you're able to date not only that in terms of the physical aspect of it, but her traditionality, right? Her family values are intact, which are lost in the West for quite some time now. So that's why guys like, passport bros, right, are in I believe they're over 1 million now, passport bros, and they're all going to Ukraine and to the Philippines and Thailand and South America, Central America to find a wife, because we don't have choice in America anymore in the West. And that's why you guys come to us or similar agencies. If you can find a way to meet a high quality, you can feel and have assurance that and feel in your gut that you're really meeting high quality ladies. You got to do your own homework to decide who to work with. Matt has a comment here. You have to be happy with yourself. Absolutely. 100%, Matt. 100%. Absolutely.
This is one of the, if you believe you're damaged, then you need to take care about yourself.
Yeah, that's why I talk about
wounds.
that statistic. 8% of guys say I'm still damaged from my ex. Well, then don't pursue love. You gotta come to the place where you accept yourself, you love yourself for who you are, and you're busy. You're pursuing shit, right? You're a man on a mission. Women like to, who's that little cute face over here? Look at over there. Lulu, you're so cute. You're so cute. Are you back? You back to say hi?
Yes, I'm back.
You're back? Okay.
Welcome.
Okay. Which means we got to be ending fairly soon because somebody's going to get really talkative soon. So, any other questions, guys? Any comments or questions? Absolutely horrific. Let's take absolutely.
I want to see all of the comments.
You want to see the comments?
Yeah, how many comments?
A lot of comments. Look, I'll scroll for you. Look at that's all. Look at that's all the comments.
She wants to show how she can read. Now I
Mhm.
think that's what she.
That's all the. Look at all the comments. Can you believe it?
But how much do you have?
Oh, over 100 and something or rather.
Hungry.
Big numbers, eh? Do you want to share everybody how high you can count now these days? How high did you count for Dad the other day? Remember?
I can count to 1,000.
Exactly.
Wow.
Molly, Dad, high five.
I can
Mhm.
actually count to 1,000,000.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. I want to hear that. We'll do it together after, okay?
I know the count better than.
Look at somebody's writing. Wow. That's like a malad yet. They're surprised you can count so high.
You're so funny, Lizinka. Mhm. So cute.
Oh, here's a
This
good
age
comment.
when
Here's
everything
a-
possible. Mm-hmm.
Is there
You're
That's
the
true.
best. You've gone through thick and thin, and you've shown it to us. And believe me, I've been watching for over 5 years. So much guarantee is the real deal. If you have money, jump in. Amen.
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 Yeah. Yeah. That's one of your favorite words, isn't it? Amen. Let's pull that arm up. Okay, guys, it's been
Okay.
a wonderful 3 hours, 2.5, hanging out with you guys.
So I was,
Yeah, look at somebody. What is somebody knows what you want for Christmas. Look,
what?
the tooth
Somebody
fairy.
wants
The tooth fairy to call.
Yeah, that's
Someone
money.
wants-
Yeah.
He means you want the tooth fairy to come and give
No.
you
No, I don't.
Oh, look what the passport said. Excellent reading. Give you a malad yet.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tooth fairy came. Give money that you already spent. Forgive for me.
Yeah, and she's lost the last two teeth, and still the tooth fairy came because she's magical, right?
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
a rich one.
Magical, yeah, very kind fairy.
I was so nice. I bought mommy a Christmas present. Should I give it today or in Christmas?
No, I think on Christmas
On
Eve.
Christmas,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah,
You know you're gonna have to wrap it.
it's
Daddy.
hard to read some comments in different languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got quite a multicultural. Yeah, so I'll
Community.
show you this slide. Here's my theory of relativity. Yeah, relativity to get married to Slavic lady. Success equals quality woman plus your education / experience squared. That's all it needs, guys. It's really simple. You just got to meet a quality woman, and then you've got to play your cards right. You got to understand her mindset. Yeah? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Papa Joe's formula for success.
He eats a drunk every movie.
What?
What? Hey, should we put up our first date? That's if you guys haven't seen, that's Anna and I's first date. Boy, I looked a lot younger there. Hey,
I look
that was-
different
Ooh
too.
la
Oh.
la.
Yeah. Oh la la. That's it.
yeah. You see the 3 red roses there?
Was mom like?
Oh, that was our first date and our first kiss.
Was mom was like?
Ooh la la,
was-
right up there with the view.
Was
Yeah.
mom like this?
Huh?
Was mom like this?
Rich?
Yeah.
Rich? Oh, mom was very rich.
Oh my god.
In love, honey. In love.
Oh my goodness, that's a prawda.
Hmm?
What?
Why would you be rich? I don't understand. What was that? It's funny. Yeah, all we also have our fears and doubts, but just being in this journey, and there's no other way, then just keep your heart open, your mind open.
Mind
And-
open.
Lily, you're so funny.
Yeah, this age just very, very pleasant, right?
Uh-huh.
7-year-old.
Yeah,
Mhm.
7-year-old.
Okay, we're gonna leave you with a little ad video on our Christmas deal that might explain some more details, and then our happy couples. Yeah, our reel of happy couples. I need to update that reel. We've got some to minus from it and some to add to it.
My age is 7, like Anna 7.
Yeah. Is somebody asking your age? Is somebody asking, right?
I said
Oh, there's a
she's
few more
cute.
comments before we break here. Oh no, I already got those ones up. Somebody's speaking other different languages. Turkish, is it? I don't know.
No.
How much does inflation? Somebody's asking about inflation. Hello, Robert. There's Robert from Kelowna. Hello, Robert. I haven't been ignoring you. But Robert, if you have any specific questions before we go for Anna, because I know you're kind of in a conundrum there with big goals, big life goals and dreams. And yeah, so if you want to ask me or Anna anything,
Thanks for saying
you're welcome to before we go. How much does the tooth fairy give? Yeah, he wants to know, how much did you get for your tooth?
$20 each.
Canadian.
$20, yeah, Canadian, which is about $2 US these days.
No.
No,
That's a joke. It's become a peso again, the Canadian peso. So yeah, see, somebody's calling you smart. Yeah, look at Top G calls you smart. You're very smart. Are you kidding me?
Thank
3
you.
languages, fluent in English now. Yeah. Thanks, Robert. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, Merry Christmas to all you guys. 4 days away. I hope you have a great time with your families.
All of you.
All of you.
What
Wow, you're surprising me, Elizabeth. What you up to?
She
All
cried,
of
Jack.
the people that comment and are watching this video.
What? All of them.
Are you gonna have your own YouTube channel soon?
Yes,
She wants. But guess who will be doing all the work?
you.
She just wants to be the artiste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dad will do all the editing and all the uploading.
And I will put a clown face on you.
You put a what on me?
Clown face.
A clown face on me. We can do that. I don't mind being a clown. Low battery. Oh, we
Yeah,
should go before we die.
That's
it's okay.
great.
Okay, guys. Well,
Bye bye.
bye-bye. We'll see you guys live on the Saturday after Christmas. Okay,
Yes.
whatever date that is.
Saturday.
Next Saturday, we'll be back at you live.
Saturday. Okay, guys.
Okay.
See
Okay,
you
guys.
later.
Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like and subscribe. See you later.
Perfect.
alligator.
Hey, you got to give her effort for that one. Eve her effort on that one. Okay, guys.
See
Take
you
care.
later, alligator.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
In today's world, dating can feel like spinning the roulette wheel in Vegas. But what if you could finally stack the odds in your favor to win? Imagine if finding lasting love was not about leaving it to chance, but rather about following a proven path that most men don't even know exists. Picture finding her, the one you've been waiting for, faster than you ever thought possible. No more settling, no more loneliness, no more waiting for someday that may never come. Imagine a reliable way to connect with beautiful, family-oriented women that are committed and ready to build a life with you. Sound too good to be true? Well, we've made this a reality for hundreds of happily married couples over the past 27 years. Hi, I'm Anna Rickards, Heart of Match Community, Canada's leading international matchmakers. Today, I will show you how we help our clients to go from frustrated to fulfilled, realizing the family life they've dreamed of without wasting your precious time and financial resources. Does finding the right partner feels like a full-time job? With professional matchmaking, you skip years of frustrating trial and error dating, saving time, energy, and money while our experts do the legwork for you.
Match Guarantee is finding my perfect lady, and it's worked out really, really well for me. I don't believe that I could have found a person like Olga. I don't think that ladies with their values exist anymore in England.
Our approach is all about you. We take time to understand your values, interests, and ideal qualities in a partner, ensuring that each match is perfectly aligned with what you're looking for. With unlimited matchmaking, you access a curated selection of high-quality, marriage-minded women. Unlike other international matchmakers, our database of ladies is exclusive, with every lady carefully vetted by our psychologist, which means you'll never waste time on casual encounters with women who aren't serious ever again.
Never stop to dream about something. If you really want to do something and want to receive something in your life, everything is possible. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah, very happy, eh?
Google Match Guarantee reviews and see for yourself hundreds of men who once felt stuck in today's dead-end dating scene just like you are now enjoying the peace and fulfillment of lasting relationship. Ready to take the first step? The world's #1 trusted matchmakers are here for you, and today it won't set you back 20 or even 10 grand. This holiday season, take advantage of our exclusive offer, just $19.97 upfront and $500 monthly for unlimited introductions. Cancel anytime. Imagine starting a new year with someone who truly completes you. Don't let another year pass you by without reaching your #1 life goal, finding true love and building your family. You owe it to yourself to make your life goal happen now before it's too late. With our special holiday offer, there is no reason not to start today. To get all your questions answered and see if this is right fit for you, simply book your no-obligation consultation at matchguarantee.com/APPT or just call our Vancouver office at 1604-998-8051. Make today the day you take charge of your future happiness. Match Guarantee, because everyone deserves to find their perfect match.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you next Saturday, guys.
Yeah.